Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares. Welcome back to What's in the Bag, Jay. Now, this is the segment where I pick 6 movies from my collection that I haven't seen, write their names down on a piece of paper, draw one at random, and do a review. Now, coming back from last week, or actually 2 weeks ago, is Ogre, A Dark Path, Hour of the Wolf, The Awakening, Dead Ant, and making its debut this week is A Night of Horror, Nightmare Radio. Alright, let me give the bag of the tussle. We're going to see what we're going to watch this week. Alright. A Night of Horror, Nightmare Radio. How about that? Well, I'm going to set that aside while I sit all the other movies side by side and take my trusty Freddy vs. Jason die, and we're going to see what's going to come back next week. Remember, if I roll a Freddy vs. Jason or a 5, they all come back. 4. Alright, let's give the bag another good tussle. We're going to pick 4 out of here. Alright, coming back is The Awakening. Seems to be a popular choice. And Hour of the Wolf. I've had some people vote for that. A Dark Path. And Ogre. Alright. If you want to see me review Dead Ant, which looks like fun, definitely comment and vote. But right now, I'm going to go watch A Night of Horror, Nightmare Radio, and come back with a review. Later. Well, I'm back. I just watched A Night of Horror, Nightmare Radio, and here are my thoughts. Now, I've got a lot to get to, so I'm going to get right into this. Nightmare Radio, A Night of Horror is a 2019 film which runs approximately 105 minutes, and it is an anthology, so I'm going to review it like I review other anthologies. I'm going to take it part by part. Okay, the first part and the wraparound and the ending is Nightmare Radio. Now, this is written and directed by Lucio and Nicholas Onetti, which I think they're great directors. They've done, of course, I'm going to talk about these guys because they're one of my favorites, but they've done Sono Profondo, they've done Francesca, they've done With the Waters Left Behind, and Abracadabra. Just fantastic films. They're one of my favorite modern directors. This stars James Wright and Clara Kovacic. Now, I gave this one a 9.5, and I'm going to get into very brief synopsises for these because they're shorts, so being an anthology. A guy has a radio station, and he's telling ghost stories and scary stories, and people are allowed to call in and tell ghost stories along with him. The thing is, someone keeps calling in, a young child saying, "Help me, help me." I'm going to leave it there. Okay, the very first segment, actual segment, is called In the Dark, Dark Woods. Now, I gave this one an 8. This one is directed by Jason Bognacki, and this stars Carl E. Lander. This one was really cool. This one is basically words and pictures, which is like every movie, but this is told in a storybook sort of fashion with video in the background. And I thought that was really cool. And it tells a story of a witch, sort of, kind of. But I'm going to leave that one there. The next segment is called Post-Mortem Mary. Now, I gave this one an 8.5, and this is written and directed by Joshua Long, and it stars Stella Carrington. This is pretty cool because this was done in a period piece fashion, and it's about a woman and her daughter who photograph the dead in order to preserve their memories. I'm going to leave that one there. Like I said, these are all going to be very short synopsises, but I did give that one an 8.5. It's very creepy. Okay, the next one is called A Little All of the Top. Instead of a little off the top, it's a little of the top. I gave this one an 8, and this is directed by Adam O'Brien, and this stars David Newman and Ingrid Falsey. And it's kind of what you would expect. A serial killer is giving a victim a haircut. Or, yeah, so you think. I'm going to leave it there. Pretty cool. The next one is called The Disappearance of Willie Bingham. I gave this one an 8. This one is written and directed by Matt Richards, and it stars Kevin D. and Gregory J. Fryer. This one was pretty interesting. This one was about, they were telling a story about capital punishment and how they kind of changed things. And if someone was accused of something, they would start cutting off pieces of them, but keeping them alive. So this was done by the federal system, and the family was able to decide how much of this person was able to be cut off. Very interesting, very dark, very disturbing, but I really enjoyed it. The next one is called Drops. This was directed by Sergio Morello, and it stars Marina Romero and Adrian Lopez. This one was interesting. It wasn't too bad. It was about a woman who is obsessed, and I'm going to leave that one there. The next one is called The Smiling Man, and this was written, directed, and edited by A.J. Briones. And this stars Abby Shelley. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I gave this one a 9. This was close to my favorite. The Smiling Man would make a very good full feature, in my opinion. It's about it's pretty much like an urban legend where the girl finds balloons, which leads her to the Smiling Man, and I'm going to leave it there. It's very creepy. Okay, the next one is called Into the Mud. This one was actually my favorite, and it is produced, written, directed by Fabio Pastor. It stars Maria Forqué and Maria Forqué. That's all I could find on that one. It's about a woman. This one starts out very interestingly. It's a woman in the woods, kind of laying naked in the mud, and this man is trying to kill her. So he seems like the bad guy. Not everything is as it seems, and I'm going to leave it there. But it's really good, done extremely well. And they must have put a lot into this, like as far as like money goes, because the special effects were brilliant. Yeah, I gave that one a 9.5. And then the last segment is called Vicious. This is written and directed by Oliver Park. It stars Rachel Winters and Isabella King. And I really can't say too much about this one because I don't remember it that well. But I did give it an 8, so I must have liked it somehow. I'm just being honest because for some reason this one just kind of faded into my brain tissue somewhere. But yeah. Overall, I really enjoyed this. I gave this one a 9 as far as an anthology. This is really good, and I've heard mixed things about this. I haven't heard much about it, but I remember seeing the commercial a while back when I think it was off of a Dollar Tree purchase or something. But I remember seeing the commercial, and then I found out later that Lucio and Nicholas Onetti had something to do with it. So finding it at a Dollar Tree was a complete score for me. This is fantastic. If you can find this, If they have this at your Dollar Tree or something, definitely pick it up. I don't think you'll be sorry. It's definitely worth $1 because there's really good segments in here. Like I said, the last one I can't remember, but that's just because I guess I'm old. Who knows? But anyway, definitely vote for the ones that didn't make it, or the one that didn't make it. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.